Let's do this. YAPT episode 9.
9. The next one will be episode 10, and we're gonna do something a little bit different for it. But today's spotlight is on Shraddha. Welcome.
Hey, Alex. Hey, Haley. It's so good to be here. It's been a long time that I met Haley, but yeah, I did meet Alex in Dubai, so it's really nice catching up.
Ah,
Yeah, which was I saw you in April last, and I didn't
Yes.
know then that you are actually based in Dubai.
Yeah, it's super. It just got done in last few days that we moved to Dubai, and it feels really good. It was long overdue, and now that it has come to reality, we feel really good about this place. This being like Web3 hub, it feels good to be with fellow founders, talk, share experiences, and yeah, I think know about their journeys and learning. So it feels really good.
I do think that at the stage of where you guys are at, the environment is pretty important. So congratulations on the move.
and
Thank you.
thank you
Thanks,
so much
Alex.
for gracing us with your presence in the midst of a move. You seem not stressed, like you're here, you're doing it. So thank you.
Thanks, Ali. Thanks, Ali, for having me on this. It really means a lot.
She is relaxed. Okay, let's get in the midst of it. So, obviously, today we're here to speak and go a little bit more in details about Panora. We're going to talk about the backstory of Panora and obviously the people who created the brand and the product. And then we'll dive a little bit deeper into what the product does, what your latest features are, and the growth that you've been experiencing on Aptos. So, first and foremost, I don't know if people know a lot about you, Shraddha, and your co-founder Keshav, and what your story is, what you did before. So can you walk us through a little bit of what was your life before Panora? What did you do?
Yeah, sure. So first, I'll introduce myself. I started off my professional journey like an hardcore software developer. So I'm coming from a technical background, worked with Franklin Templeton Investments for a couple of years with portfolio managers and high net worth individuals to define uh, portfolio management platforms. So that has been the start of my journey. So it started off with finance industry itself, and that's where I got a lot of interest in fintech, in the innovations that were happening in this space, be it in terms of asset classes, be it in terms of technology. So after working there for a couple of years, then I went on to do my MBA from Indian School of Business, and post that I joined DE Shaw. So that's where I worked as a product manager. I was also part of the crypto fund launch that was happening in DE Shaw. So I was taking care of the technology part of it as a product manager. And that's where I met my co-founder Keshav as well. So he was also part of the same crypto fund launch team. He was from the core finance space. So that's where we are bringing like the finance and tech skill set as co-founders in Panora. And I'll speak about how we started Panora, but just to give brief background about myself first. So after spending a couple of years in DE Shaw and continuing to stay in touch with my co-founder Keshav, I moved on to Microsoft as a product manager. I worked there for a couple of years again, worked on a lot of interesting projects, consumer facing projects, which actually gave me a lot of experience to deal with real users, how to deal with their feedback, what feedback to take, what feedback not to take. And I worked on a lot of AI related projects as well. So that's where my interest in AI also started. That's when AI was also booming back then. So after working with Microsoft for a couple of years, and then off Microsoft, talking to Keshav about our interests, we started off Spot Spreads. That was our first company. I speak about it, but I also give brief background about Keshav, who is my co-founder. So he has been in core finance, like I have been in the core technical space for a lot of years. So he has spent more than a decade in finance industry. He has worked with D. Shaw. He has worked with CoinDCX, which is the largest crypto exchange in India. He was leading the business development and partnerships for Octo, their Web3 wallet. And then he also worked with a proprietary HFT firm. That's where he got a lot of insights into high frequency trading, the strategies, and all of that. And that's the experience that we took to Spot Spreads. So Keshav and I started Spot Spreads, which was the market making company in 2022. So we were market making on centralized exchanges back then. And due to a lot of regulations in India, heavy taxation, we realized that centralized exchanges are not going to work for us. And market making is just a loss-making business if it comes to India. So we then started exploring the DeFi world, the decentralized exchanges. And that's when fortunately, at the right time, we got into the OV Aptos Accelerator program. That's when our journey with Aptos started, and Keshav and I keep talking about that journey every few days. That look how far we have come from that accelerator program, and that was in 2023, the accelerator program. That's when we met Zach and Alex, who were part of the Aptos team, mentoring us. And, we never knew that we will get so close to the Aptos team that, our journey, we would end up, with Aptos like for 2 years now. And after the accelerator program, I think it was for 3 months that, we built the product from a PDF. That's where we started when it comes to accelerator program. It was just a PDF, our idea that we took to the accelerator program that we're going to build on Aptos. So we started off with Swap GPT, basically an AI-based prompt platform, but we never knew that Swap GPT will take shape of Panora, which is like the number one DEX aggregator on Aptos. So, so that was a journey. Then, we came out of the accelerator program. Then I think our journey on Aptos accelerated when we also took part in the Singapore Token 2049 hackathon. And that's where, again, we met Zach, Alex, David, all of them in person, and that has been the journey that we still cherish. We emerged out as one of the winners of the hackathon, and that's when it also gave us a lot of confidence, lot of motivation to build something on Aptos, and that's when we started to think about the DEX aggregator. So it was still Swap GPT till that particular point. And when we got in deep talk conversations with Aptos team, that's when we realized that we could actually build a DEX aggregator, and that was a gap that at that particular point in on Aptos. There were DEX aggregators, but there was no one aggregator which solved the gaps of best rates, best routes, and also the complete product suite. So that's when we started building Panora, and so that has been the journey so far. It's been like 2 years. We are on mainnet already, and
Yeah.
that's
It's I feel like I've known you guys for even longer than this, but I'm realizing that we met pretty much day for day exactly 2 years ago, you and I. And I actually remember you mentioned the OV Accelerator program that you guys took part of, which kind of like introduced you to the Aptos ecosystem in a way. And I
yeah,
remember when you were preparing for a deck and pitching, one of the mentors that was an investor told you guys that specifically your team really should
yeah,
highlight heavily yours and Keshav's background, because it
yeah,
does give you a ton of credibility and it really explains to the people here's why these founders are the best qualified to build this product. And I remember I was very impressed. And then something that I've always loved about you guys is your dedication to your vision and your product. Being a founder is really hard. There's a lot of ups and downs. It's very challenging mentally, and you've both always stayed very true to yourselves, very dedicated, super hardworking, And that's the reason why you're one of my favorite teams. And I remember meeting
Thank
you
you,
in
Alix.
Singapore of that same year, the hackathon that you're mentioning. So I'm very glad, and I feel truly blessed that I was able to follow you guys along for so long and so closely. So thank you so much for that, and thank you for being with us. Your growth has been insane since then, and we're gonna dive into Panora itself in a little bit. But just I guess as one of the last questions to kind of close off this part is, I'm curious to know from your experience, and I remember actually spot spreads because at the time when I was in meetings with you guys, it was that email, and I was always like, oh,
Yeah.
and now it's the Panora one. So that's interesting to me. But how has your experience working in, big finance, Franklin Templeton we mentioned, and then, stuff that is a little bit more related to trading and crypto, CoinDCX being one, Microsoft, obviously, very big company. How does it help or shapes the way you guys are developing Panora today to have worked with this, very, very big company to now being the founders of a startup?
Yeah, I think the one key learning that I've taken from my experiences working with these giant companies is that, you get to learn every day from the experiences of whoever you're working with. And, you have to be constantly in the phase of listening rather than speaking. So I think these are two things that I have learned from my experience. And that's where we believe in listening to people, taking their feedback, incorporating it, and then also respecting people around. I think that's more important. People are coming from different backgrounds, from different experiences. Everybody has their own journey. So I think that's really that has kept us grounded and kept us motivated, that we have to speak with everybody, talk to everybody, listen to what they have to say, and build what they want. So these giant companies have really taught us that you build what the users need, take their feedback, keep iterating. That's one thing that we have also incorporated in Panora. Even today, like, we keep asking our users about their feedback. What additional do they want us to do when it comes to Panora product suite? What else is missing in our user experience? And that's how we keep iterating. So every day when you open Panora UI, you will see something different. We don't keep announcing that on Twitter, but there is some minor change that you will see in the user experience, because every day there is some change. But that's I think that these are our key takeaways from the MNCs for sure.
I think that's very reflective of you two as people, because I think within the Aptos team, everybody loves you guys, and we have that same experience with you, where you're super open to feedback, very fast to iterate, very low egos, which is very rare in this space. I'm not gonna mention anyone, but it is. Um, so I think that's amazing. You do build your product at the end of the day for the users, because if you build a great product, nobody uses it, then it's completely pointless. So I think it's one of the most
Right.
important thing to do, and very reflective of Panora and you guys. Okay, enough about me. Haley, let's take it away with diving a little bit deeper into this beautiful product that you guys have been building for 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah, I just want to start by saying, Shraddha, I know it's been a while since you and I have chatted, but I remember I met you, I think in January of last year. So you guys were
Yeah.
fresh coming out of the accelerator program. You were still Swap GPT at that time. And I think, from meeting you in January of last year, within 4 to 6 months is when that rebrand happened. You guys became Panora. And having worked with you on the marketing side, just like plus one to everything you just said. I feel like what I'm seeing in terms of the way you position yourselves on social media, like you come off very educational on top of like diving deep into the product features, reminding users of what's available and constantly iterating on your feedback. So huge, huge growth within the last year alone. Since that rebrand has happened, Panora has grown to be the number one DEX aggregator on Aptos. You serve as the gateway to all Aptos, and I think you just shared with us that you're doing 7 billion in volume. Is that right?
That's right. That's right.
Incredible, incredible growth, right? I would love to dive a little bit deeper and just like in your words, like what's your elevator pitch for Panora? Who are you? What do you guys do?
Yeah, so I think if I have to just put Panora in few words, if Aptos is the global trading engine, Panora is the global trading layer on Aptos. So that's what we want to be, like the one-stop solution for trading on Aptos. So so that is what Panora is even today. Like, so if you see our product suite, so we have swap aggregator, we have bridge aggregator, then we have Panora flows. Panora flows basically is our bridge plus swap aggregator. That's how we have named Panora flows, and then we have terminal as well. Basically, that's nothing but the trading terminal. You just open it, go, you find any token. You'll see the history of the token, how the token has been moving since last couple of years, day, months, days. You get everything for if you are a data analyst or any user who is diving deep into data. Terminal is one product that we have developed for them. And again, Panora is also taking care of the token list and the price list. That is one source of truth for everything on Aptos, which is being used by all the ecosystem partners as well. So any token that gets launched on Aptos, it has to be there on the Panora token list. So that's how we have built our product suite. So there are a lot of APIs as well that we have rolled out, which are very developer friendly. They help developers to build on top of Panora. So that's how our product suite has evolved. Like we over only swap, like we were only Dex aggregator when we started. Now there are a lot of ancillary products that we have added on top of swap aggregator, and we are definitely seeing benefits.
Awesome. You also offer on-chain order book functionality, I believe, as well. You already mentioned you have a ton of API integrations. Can you talk a little bit more about like just how the like product suite has evolved? Like even coming from your idea of Swap GPT to what it is today, like there pretty much isn't anything that Panora doesn't touch.
Correct. So we started off with swap aggregator. So that's how and initially when we started, we just were integrated with 5 to 6 ecosystem partners. And right now, if there is any DEX on Aptos, it would be integrated with Panora. So there is no liquidity source that is left behind when it comes to Panora's integration. So we started off with swap aggregator, and that's when, we started building the APIs also. So in terms of APIs, anybody who wants to swap using algorithms or they want to use their bots for automated trading, they can use Panora Swap API. There is also Swap Widget, like whatever experience that we provide as part of our Swap aggregator. If any other product wants to use the exact same user experience, they could use our widget SDK as well. So that is something that we have rolled out for developers who are looking to have the exact same user experience of Panora. After we developed APIs, SDKs, and then Swap Aggregator, that's when we realized that, now we have to start thinking about more products which are beyond Swap Aggregator. And that's when we rolled out the Panora Terminal, which is like the data powerhouse of Aptos. So, like I mentioned, like you need any detail of the token, just go and look at Panora Terminal, and there is instant swap as well. You don't have to go through the multiple pop-ups of wallet approvals and all that. You just go and just instantly swap any token to any token. Once Panora Terminal was also out, we got a lot of user feedback on having something related to cross-chain. So that's when Panora flows came into picture. So that's when, we realized that, okay, now we have to do something around bridging. So our bridge product, like our Panora flows product is touching 10 plus chains right now. So if you want to seamlessly bridge any token from, let's say, Ethereum or Solana to Aptos, that's available like with the best rates. So that has always been our promise that Panora is going to provide the best routes and the best rates no matter what you're doing, whether it's bridging, swapping. So users don't have to worry about the rates. So yeah, that's how our product suite has evolved. There are more interesting products and features that we're going to launch on top of our suite. Our roadmap is quite big. Right now, we're still coping up with what next to launch because we keep hearing a lot of things from our users. But yeah, that's how it has evolved so far.
Nice. I don't know if you realize that you're doing this, but even just like I can tell you're a founder because of the like one-liners and the way that you describe what Panora does. Like Panora is the global trading layer for Aptos. You said no liquidity left behind. We're the DeFi powerhouse of Aptos. Like this is what I'm talking about. These are the things that Alix and I want to get out of founders that we bring onto YAPT is like understanding like what it is that drives you and like seeing how you really frame your product story. This is really cool to see. Something you talk about too is just you're constantly like listening to feedback from your users. Like, what is the main channel or touch point in which you interact with users? Is that over social media? Is it in real life at these events? Like, where are you guys kind of garnering all this feedback to
It's
develop your suite?
yeah, so it's a combination of offline and online sources. So we have our we have feedback channels open on Panora platform itself. So anybody could just come at any point in time, give us feedback about what exists, give us a request about what exactly do they want in the future. If there are any bugs that they face real time, they could just raise requests right on Panora as a platform. There are other sources as well. Like we are heavily invested in our Telegram and Discord channels. Like we keep listening to what users speak about Panora. What exactly are they requesting? Are there any bugs that that have been introduced as part of any of our launches, so that we give them real time support. So that's another medium. Then there are offline events as well. Like just to mention the last event, IBW, Panora had a stall had a booth at the IBW event, India Blockchain Week. And that's when, a lot of people came and they tried Panora. They also gave us, the already existing users also gave us feedback on what else we could improve. So these are a couple of sources that we use to receive feedback. And in general, whenever the feedback is addressed, we also make sure that whoever has given us that feedback gets the response that yes, their feedback has been taken care of. So
Okay.
that's how we have a closed loop when it comes to feedback.
Speaking of events, you mentioned IBW. Are we gonna see you guys at KBW and Token this year?
For sure, Panora, if there is any event that's happening and there is Aptos presence, there would be Panora's presence.
So, guys, if you want to connect in person with them, come to Korea, come to Singapore, September, October. It's gonna be a party. Nice.
For sure.
You mentioned Haley, API, and SDKs. So you guys have developer tools that make it very easy to seamlessly integrate Panora's features. And I know that you have over 20 ecosystem partners integrated. What are I guess, the mutual benefits of them integrating Panora, Panora integrating, for new people coming to the ecosystem, people who are not yet potentially integrated with Panora? What's the mutual benefits there? Why should they?
Whenever we integrate an ecosystem partner, what we're looking at is, I mean, just to put it in a couple of words, it's a distribution game. Like we are looking at having Panora's name on all of the ecosystem platforms, even if it's just for swap. So if somebody is coming, let's say on Joule Finance, so they will be able to see that, okay, look, the swap is powered by Panora, even if it's not the same experience, but the actual routing is being taken care by Panora, and they can be assured about the rates. So when we speak about the win-wins, what we are looking at is to also get the user base from these ecosystem partners, because that's when we will also onboard a lot of new users. And for the other, so in terms of user onboarding, it's a win-win for Panora as well, and for the other ecosystem partners also. And the other benefit that we see is a lot of ecosystem partners are multi-chain, couple of them at least. So when users from the other chains are going to look at their platform and they see, oh, there is something called as Panura, it's going to spread word, and it's going to help us also get users from the other chains as well. So that's how we look at it. So basically, it's more like having the brand presence and getting more users from the ecosystem partners. So that's a win for us. And for the partners who are integrating us, they get the best experience from Panora. Their users are getting the best rates when it comes to swap. So that's a win for them.
So best rates, best experience, the rate competitivity is something that we mentioned a lot. How is the Panora infrastructure making the protocol more efficient than other DEXs? And I'm not talking about other DEXs on Aptos necessarily, across the board.
Yeah, so our routing algorithm, so we have really, really spent a lot of time on our routing algorithm. So it has taken like over an year that uh, we have spent researched a lot of time and how we can make it better. Initially, when we started off, our rates were competitive when it comes to even the dexes on Aptos. But over time, we have spent a lot of time, and it's at that stage that, there is no competition to the rates that Panora is providing. So routing algorithm is key to what Panora is doing. Second, the infrastructure is so scalable that, no, if let's say there's a huge influx of users on Aptos on any day, Panora will be able to support that volume. Right now, I don't think any ecosystem infrastructure is built in a way that it scales up or scales down based on the volumes. But our infrastructure is very, very reliable, scalable, and efficient. And anybody would speak about it, whoever has integrated with us. And that's how the infrastructure is built over time. And like I mentioned, like we have integrated with all the DEXs who are available on Aptos. So if all the liquidity sources are already integrated, there is there is no chance that the users are not going to get the best rate because all the liquidity score sources are scanned real-time basis through our swap contracts and algorithms. So that's how it works today.
Cool. Last couple minutes before we wrap up, you touched on this briefly, but I did just want to highlight Panora Flows because you recently launched that within the last month. So very, very recent. Talk to me a little bit about what adoption has been like so far and any feedback that you might have gotten, and maybe even just the impetus for why Panora Flows.
Yeah, so Panora flows, like, we wanted to, we were thinking a lot about how do we name this particular product. And that's when, we thought, since Aptos is a global trading engine, whatever is coming to Aptos should flow through Panora. So that's how we are a gateway to that complete volume that's going to come to Aptos. So Panora flows, that's how we named it. That we have to take care of all the volume and the flows that's going to come up on Aptos from the other chains because that's our product that we were launching, the bridge aggregator. So as part of Panora Flows, we launched a campaign as well. So Panora Flows Carnival that has two campaigns running right now, two sub campaigns running right now. Panora Flows Arena, and then there's Panora Flows Tales. So we want to encourage users to give more feedback, to write stories and content about Panora Flows, how their experience has been. And if there's any feedback that we could incorporate. So far, the feedback that we have received from the community is that they are loving the experience when it comes to bridge because bridging has never been that seamless. And right now, like it's like it just takes couple of seconds for anybody to bridge on Aptos. So I think that's the feedback that we have received, and it really motivates a lot when we get such feedback. That was the purpose of having the Panora Flows Tales as the campaign. And the volumes are also doing great. Like we have seen already, good volume when it comes to the bridge and bridge plus swap both, I would say. So volume wise, we we didn't have that expectations earlier, but it has far exceeded the expectation, to be honest. So yeah, that's about the Panora flows.
I think it's a good one because in my personal experience, bridging is the most painful experience in Web3.
It's
It
not even
really
much of
is
an
painful.
experience. It's just more of a headache.
Yeah, there's so
Right.
many times where I kind of gave up, and I feel like based on what's going on in the market and because it moves so fast, there's times where you're like, oh, I really need to bridge right now, and it's just not doable. Um, so that's a very big problem that you guys solve for. You're basically abstracting the bridging experience.
Right.
Panora is, and I say that very often, the center of the ecosystem, not only because of its aggregator nature, but because of everything that it allows and all the integrations that are possible across the board. So thank you so much,
Thank you.
Shraddha. We kept you for a very long time. I'm very excited for this one to come out for people to learn more about you guys. So thank you for being with us.
Thank you. Thanks, Haley. Thanks, Alex.
Thank you so much, Shraddha.
Bye.